Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to tell you about this podcast. It's called The DK Project, but it's really The Darren Show. The DK Project is a radio show, but without the radio. So sit back, buckle up, and enjoy the ride.
Let's go!
Yeah, right. Welcome back to the DK Project, episode 129. For all of you that are keeping track and following along, there is more episodes coming out. We are trying to do more and more every week to make this more of a morning show that you can download and listen to on your commute. So those of you who are listening, great. Give us a follow, subscribe, tell a friend, and give us a good review. With us today on the old line, we're zooming in with Tina Marie. I'm not going to attempt your last name. Trimpet?
Trimpert. Yeah, forget about the last name. It's totally fine. Hi, Darren. How are you?
I'm good. We've been trying to do this now for about a week, and it's been one thing or another, obstacle after obstacle. You've had a tough and busy week. I mean, you are a busy gal.
Oh, yes. It stays that way.
There's nothing wrong with that. I like it, and my schedule's pretty flexible, so it ends up working out. But you're down in Texas, right?
That's not quite how they sound down here, but it was close.
Well, I was gonna say you don't even sound like a true Texan. Where's
that is because I'm not a true Texan.
You're a transplant?
Yes, I am. I would consider Texas my home base, but I've lived all over the world and in several different states. I plan to stay here, but who knows what's going to happen? I'm like a gypsy.
Really? What are you, a military kid?
Diplomat's daughter.
Whoa.
Even better, right?
Whoa. Jeez, is that why we had to do that big questionnaire before we got on the air? Wow, that's funny. So you've been everywhere. Where's the coolest place you've ever been then to live?
Coolest place that I've ever lived, I would say, is Korea. And I think that's because of all the great memories and people that I have there.
Really? Do you speak a bunch of languages then?
Yeah, 4.
Wow. That'll come in handy for nothing on this show. But
yeah, well, I might say something that you'll never know behind your back on the show in a different language. Who knows?
Yeah, just for my other bilingual listeners. That's perfect. I love it. Catering to everyone. That's what we do. We cater to everyone. So how long were you in Korea then?
I was there about 5 years.
Wow. That's cool. But you're not, obviously you're on your own now. You're married with children and the whole bit. So what brought you to Texas?
Well, I've always had an affinity for Texas because every time we would move to another country and come back, we would end up in Texas. So I knew a lot of people here to begin with. But when we moved first from Korea, I ended up in North Dakota, of all places. Ooh. Dakota.
Yeah, that's my neighbor. I actually just was on a radio show in Dakota today. I think it was South Dakota, though. I don't really know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, that's, wow, you talk about a land of nowhere, but really cold. Holy snot.
Really cold. You're still going to school with snow tires on your tiny little bus in 4 feet of snow.
I usually go skiing in Montana for Christmas. Haven't for a couple of years, but you drive back across the Dakotas. And there was one time we came back and I was actually watching my gas because obviously you want to make sure you have enough gas. But I was thinking to myself, if my car breaks down, it was like middle of the night. If my car breaks down, I could easily freeze to death on this. It was like 20 below or something on my little thermometer in my car. It's like, holy crap. And people live in that shit. I can't believe it. My son's got friends who are going to school out there. And I'm just like, why would you ever want to go there? Like there's nothing but wind, snow, and cold. Which
I couldn't take it anymore. I ended up in North Carolina and then several other states after.
So how is North Carolina?
North Carolina is exactly what it sounds like. It's north of the 2 Carolinas.
Wow.
I had a great time there. That's where I started most of my acting and modeling career. That's where I began my event business and everything like that. I mean, I made there, ended up learning how to play golf and living in Pinehurst, which is golf central. Tiger Woods lived down the street from me. It was nice. It was an experience.
Did you ever meet him?
No, I never
Did he ever
got
hit on you?
One time, Obama was playing basketball out there with a bunch of kids that I knew back in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to talk to him?
No.
Well, I thought at least Tiger Woods would have hit on you or made a move or something.
I'm not blonde.
Oh, that's okay. Sorry. I didn't know there was a prerequisite. I don't know his what he favors most there, but okay, that's cool. So now break this down for me. How long were you in North Carolina? Because I got to get the weather breakdown. I'm still looking for my forever place.
About 4.
So how's the weather then? Like seasonally, do you get the changing of the seasons?
Yeah, you know what? It is good for the weather. Texas doesn't really they have their own weather system here. North Carolina, you get all 4 seasons. Everything's expected. October, the leaves start falling. You might get snow, you might not. The summer is great. Spring is wonderful. Just
really?
The weather is great there. Yes.
Is the winter like my winter starts January for real winter, and it's 10 below zero and nasty. Their winter's not like that though. It's just like Colorado winter. Colorado winters, you get snow, but it'll melt and because you get sunshine every day.
I want to go to places like Colorado when I want to freeze. There has to be a reason behind my freezing. If it's not snowing, I don't want to go there.
Yeah,
if I'm cold for no reason, there's no purpose of me being anywhere like that.
Exactly. So, but Texas, you get just heat, right?
Most of the time, but we actually got some frost on the ground a few days ago, and I woke up freezing because we don't have to have a heater in this house. Wow. We don't have heating in this house, and I'm okay with that. But I woke up freezing that morning because we don't have a heater, like I just said 3 times.
That's crazy. I've been to Austin, and I've been to Houston, and I've been to Galveston, and all over. But I go when like spring break and stuff, so I don't. The weather doesn't really hit me. Well, what are you in Houston?
I'm not. No, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I have cattle for neighbors. I did live in Austin for a bit, but then, the big C word hit and I was like freaking out, like, oh, zombies are going to come.
What?
Like everybody's going to have it. I'm getting out of here because I was near Dallas actually at the time. It wasn't Austin. I went Austin, Dallas, and now I'm in the middle of nowhere in East Texas, 2 hours from Houston.
Well, I was looking at buying a vocal booth for my voiceover business, and the guy was in, I want to say like San Antonio or some weird, Texas place. And he's like, keep in mind, if you fly down here to drive back with it, we're 8 hours from Dallas. And it's like, Texas is so big that you don't understand that if you're driving to Texas, once you get there, you still could have a day or so of driving ahead of you to get to wherever it is, whether it be the coast or further inland. But Texas is a monster. That's a big state.
We drove up through Minneapolis not too long ago.
Oh, really?
Knocked out 12 hours. I was so excited. I didn't realize I was still in Texas.
I'm telling you that it's crazy. Say that again? Oh, you lost me.
We were driving from where we live up to Minneapolis, and it's a 28 or 30 hour drive. And 12 hours in, I was excited. I was like, ooh, we're almost there. 12 hours knocked out. Look at the map. We're still in Texas or Oklahoma at the very least, but brutal. Same thing. Oklahoma might as well be a part of Texas.
No doubt. What were you doing in Minneapolis?
I have a friend up there that we were visiting, and I did some recording up there at their studio and just hung out, kind of got away for a little bit because having cows for neighbors is not always fun.
Right. Not real talkative. It's safe though for the COVID. You got nothing to worry about there. That's a good thing. So tell us about your modeling and acting. What got you into this?
I've always been into it. I'm a musical theater kid.
Oh, nice.
I call myself a kid, but I'm not a kid, just for any of the listeners out there. And so ever since then, I was about 17 when I got my first real commercial gig, or I guess you could call it real. I was the first commercial for the blue electronic cigarettes, which everybody now they vape. So I started the whole vaping thing. I guess you could say my face was all over the billboards and all over spam ads on the internet. And
how do you feel about that?
What's that?
How do you feel about that? Like I do a lot of voiceover stuff, and sometimes like I was doing one today for something, and I'm thinking, this isn't what I believe. I know this isn't a good thing, but you still do it. You know what I mean? Like electronic cigarettes, you're like, because they've done some studies, and, cigarettes as a whole it's not a good thing for you. And now it's even worse with they found some stuff on the electronic versions. But do you get any of that when you do that kind of thing? I suppose you were so new, you'd just take anything.
Exactly. That's kind of where it was. And I stand this is my idea on it. Cigarettes, they are worse in my opinion, because when you get proper vape stuff, it's really vegetable glycerin with flavoring and nicotine, just pure nicotine.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they do with CBD oil. So they extract the what you call bad stuff, quote unquote bad stuff, whatever you want to call it, and then just make it into an oil that actually you have the benefits from it. But there's a lot of tainted vape stuff out there too. So I still think that for anyone trying to quit smoking, vaping is the best option.
God, I got to think anything's better. Anything, I mean, it's just it's crazy. So what else have you done? I know that product. Have you done any other big products?
Yeah. I've worked with Macy's. I've worked with Dillard's. That's in terms of modeling.
Sure.
I worked with Akira up in Chicago. I was with an agency in Chicago. I did not Blue Bloods. My friend Alex Zewak was on Blue Bloods. What is it called?
The show?
Yes. He plays on that show.
Oh, with Donnie Wahlberg?
I always forget. Chicago Fire and PD. I did that one quite frequently and just extra work for that. But they pay a lot of money for extras in that particular show.
Oh, really?
And I would return often.
Ha ha ha. That's cool. Where do you got to go to do that?
Chicago.
Oh, it's actually in Chicago?
Yes.
Oh man, that sounds like fun though. That's never, I do a little comedy. I do the podcast. I'm a radio guy. I do voiceover, but acting just never has appealed to me at all. I don't know why. I feel like I'd step on my own foot, but it's a different craft. I know when I got into voiceover, it's like everybody thinks we're just reading commercials, blah, blah, blah. And it's not. Acting is tough. It's either you're good at it or you're working to get better. It's not an easy thing at all.
Well, I'm actually a certified acting coach on top of it. So I kind of trained myself.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So do you teach?
Not currently, and I don't really do my business with coordinating weddings either, which is why I put together the whole event that I just did for podcasters and independent musicians and everyone, and it's called Indie Pods United. So I basically kind of had to cut that out because people were canceling weddings and can't do events. But I got started with the events in Charlotte where I did huge modeling and music networking socials and kind of made that a huge thing in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, and that's got hit real hard. I just interviewed a gal the other day who is an author, but her daytime gig is a wedding store. She owns a wedding store or manages it or something. And she's like, it's just been horrible. Like the COVID is been nuclear to that. And it's everybody. I try and do a little restaurant plug in every podcast to get the word out to help support these folks when they're closed. But I got to imagine an event business that does some wedding is not a good thing right now.
No, the next thing you know, everybody's going to be doing a Zoom wedding.
You know what's coming. I was thinking about it today. What do you think about all these kids now are at home and learning at home, and how much, I know a lot of businesses won't go back to having you in the office, but how much, like students that are really excelling, like if you're what do they call it? That's the nerd group is what I used to call them. But,
the one that I was in.
yeah, there you go. In your group. And, are they ever going to come back? Do they, you know what I mean? Because people homeschool, which I think homeschool is not a great thing. But now that the pandemic's been here, everybody's had to try the homeschooling. And I think if the kids are really advanced, do they got to go back? I don't know. I mean, I definitely think they need the social. That's why the homeschooling doesn't work, because you don't get any social interaction.
I think what's going to end up happening with those brilliant children is that if they're that brilliant and they enjoy studying, is they're going to end up way more smart than they would getting anything from a public school if they're being homeschooled or if they're teaching themselves even, because a lot of those talented and gifted is the word.
Yeah,
children end up studying stuff on their own. Right. So I see them probably excelling even more in life later when all of this is over.
Well, and it's really brought up a whole nother facet. I'm glad I don't have, you have a little one, right? I don't have a little one, so I don't have to.
She's 2. I say she's on the way to talented and gifted.
There you go.
She's to 30 already.
Well, and I think, so you might skate around it where you don't have to do these people are doing first grade, second grade with their kids. Holy snot. That's a whole nother bag of bolts. You got to teach your kids and do your job. Oh man, it's a different time. That's for sure. I know. I was just reading in the paper today that the UK is shooting some vaccine in some people. They got the first ones out. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a little early, and actually they showed it on the wire of this 90-year-old lady getting the shot. Like, geez,
Oh
it
man,
seems
that's
risky.
horrible.
But
They're paying $1,500 I hear
is that
here
what
in
it is?
America to get the COVID vaccine. And obviously, since it's what we think is a newer disease or virus, then no testing has really been done on it. So I don't see this going very well. I mean, you have to inject the antibodies into someone in any vaccine, even the flu vaccine. So I can only imagine it's going to backfire 90%. And it's like the humans are being guinea pigs. Everyone that gets that vaccine in that first round, they're like acting as guinea pigs for something that we don't even know what it's going to become.
It's not the way to go about it, but I don't know. The masks aren't working. I don't know. I just had this weekend. I live in Minneapolis area, and we're all closed. Our governor, they're calling it a pause, where you can't go to restaurants and bars. They're takeout only, which whatever. And but our neighboring state of Wisconsin is just booming. I don't think they have any restrictions right now. So we went to there's a river that separates Minnesota from Wisconsin right there. And on our side of the river is a town called Stillwater. We went there. 60% of the businesses are dark. No, they went out of business.
Oh,
So
it's horrible.
yeah,
And then they shut
nobody.
down California too. California is out right now.
Yeah.
And so like all of Hollywood is at home. And a lot of my friends that were winning awards for their independent films and everything, they can't go to the festivals. So you can only imagine they know things maybe that we don't know or that the media may not tell us. And basically they're projecting to possibly do these film festivals that were supposed to happen early in 2021 all the way at the end of 2022. So I see this going on for way longer than it's supposed to.
Well, I thought they just posted something that the Oscars or something are going to be in person.
Oh, well, that's kind of scary. Are we going to have a whole bunch of celebrities coming in? Because that's pretty scary for them, the ones that are going to attend that. I wonder how many will, if they do.
I don't know. I gotta put that in the Googler. I think I just read something about that. Is it maybe the Oscars? I don't really know, but yeah, they were going to do it. They're going to do it in person, which seems really weird, but I don't know.
It's going to look weird. It's going to look as weird as the Macy's Thanksgiving parade.
Oh, that was dreadful. Did you watch that?
It made me cry. I couldn't watch it. It was so sad.
It was really bad. I mean, the way it was edited, the way it was filmed, everything was just wrong. I don't know. We watch it every year. It's a reason to get out of bed on Thanksgiving, but it's like, holy crap, they really missed the mark on that one. I don't know why, if they just threw it together or what.
Well, they had to, I bet they couldn't have so many people there. And so they're all used to having an audience to be doing everything for, and just having a parade that's getting filmed by cameras and nobody really getting to watch it in person probably brought the energy a lot more down than it should have been.
Yeah. Well, and I think they did a lot more like local parade floats or whatever, and bands and whatever, because people couldn't travel. So they called on a lot more people from the direct area to participate. And it was just different. I watched, I don't know, the first hour or two, but it just, even the singing, everything was way off, the audio, everything. It probably was one of the worst ones that I've seen, or the worst that I've seen.
I can't imagine what New Year's is going to look like.
Yeah, really. What happened? Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that just hit me too.
That's going to be bad. I'm looking right here. Academy is mulling over the options for the 2021 Oscars ceremony. Sources say the Motion Picture Academy is currently exploring how an in-person Oscar ceremony could work in the spring, April 25th.
I wonder how it really could work. I mean,
well, I'm guessing that
how's this going to happen? Or is everybody going to be masked? are there going to be the few that are like, I'm not wearing a mask? Are they going to be allowed in? There's so many questions to ask.
Yeah, for sure. And I think truly, they're probably hedging their bet and thinking we're, with the vaccine and with everything going on with Biden coming in to save the day, that'll be gone by April. You're not gone, but well under control to where we can then do these I mean, because eventually somebody has to take that risk and say, we have to plan something. Because if you don't, and then you're in March and all of a sudden the vaccine's working and everything's moving in the right direction, you can't throw that thing together in 30 days. So you'd have to forecast it and then just call an audible at the last minute if it doesn't work.
Yeah, get the people super excited and then just be like, oh, sorry, we're not actually going to do it.
Maybe they'll put it, what would really be funny is to take all of them and put them in those bubbles, like my town, some of the restaurants have those clear bubbles that you can sit in for dinner outside.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. And then when they go up to get their awards, they have to take their bubble with them. Oh, man.
They just roll off like at the mall. They have those gerbil type things that you can roll around in.
The awards are different this year. I think, and that's what I was saying. I went to this Stillwater here near me, and it was just a ghost town. Everything's closed. And then right across the river is Hudson, Wisconsin. And there was a 2.5 hour wait to get into a restaurant. Like, they're just booming. You go across the river and you would think you were in the middle of Mardi Gras. There's people everywhere. And it's still, like 40 degrees here. So it's not like hang outside kind of weather, but people are so, I guess it's a lot of Minnesotans going over there to try and eat in a restaurant, because you go through the parking lot of the restaurant and it's 50% Minnesota license plates. They know what's up.
I was just there. So I know that that's the case.
It's really sad, but our governor is just, and whatever, everybody's wearing masks and the numbers are still moving. So I don't know. All they're doing is destroying businesses, in my opinion. But what do I know?
We can only speculate at this point. Just do our parts, right?
Stay tuned for more after this word from our sponsors. Special thanks this year to our sponsor, Grady Restoration. If you have any kind of home improvement insurance restoration needs, give them a call at 952-472-1570. If you've got construction projects, everybody's sitting around with their honey to-do list, and even though you've got a lot of time because of the pandemic, you still shouldn't do home improvement projects. Some of us just aren't cut out to do that kind of stuff. So you need to call the good folks at Grady Restoration. They've got years and years and years of experience, and they can handle any project, big or small. And if you're not sure if you have insurance damage from hail, from water, from wind, fire, could be anything, give them a call. They'll come out, take a look, complimentary, and let you know whether you've got a case or not. And for those of you who've got some construction projects, they're happy to help with those also. Give them a call at 952-472-1570 or look them up on the web at GradyRestoration.com. Hey, everybody. We're still in a pandemic, but the good news is we're cutting hair again. The hair studio in Chaska is open for business, rocking and rolling. So if you've kind of let her go over these last 6 months of the pandemic, time to get it trimmed up, curled up, colored up. Let's go. Located in Chaska at 500 North Pine Street, Chaska, Minnesota. Give them a call. They'll take care of any of your needs. If you need to get that old pandy shag cut down, 952-368-0900. Now back to the show. Yeah, exactly. Hey, I got a nugget here for you. Did you see that Howard Stern signed a new contract?
With what?
He signed a new contract with SiriusXM.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Do you know how
I did not. Wow, what's that going to be like?
Check this out. Do you know how old he is?
He's up there because he was like in his 30s, I think, when I was a kid, and I wasn't allowed to listen to him.
Oh, really?
Is he like 60 something? Like 60 something.
Pair of sixes, 66.
Oh, wow. There you go.
66. He just signed a 5-year contract.
I wonder if he's going to be the same old Howard, or if he's going to just make COVID jokes the whole time. Like, what is Howard going to do?
As somebody who's, been following the world of radio and morning radio my whole life, he's a different dude, and he really sets his own deal. He's a great interviewer. He really, interviews well. And I don't know. He used to be a lot more raunchier and whatever. And I think as he's getting older, they're taming it down. He's got some fruitcakes that work with him who are still a little X-rated, but they just signed a 5-year extension with him for $100 million a year.
Wow. So give us some money, Howard Stern. Why don't you sponsor us?
Yeah, right. We need a little bit of love here, Howard. I was just thinking about it, like, how sweet would that be? Because, I mean, he already has more money than he could ever spend. He's got definitely generational money. And now this on top of it, wouldn't you just take, millions and just be like, I'm going to go change some lives today. There you go.
That would be the best thing I think he's ever done.
Oh, and not just him. There's a lot of these people who have, I don't know though, maybe not that kind of money. $100 million a year that's $500 million. His contract that he's like in the middle of is ridiculous.
What's he gonna do with all of that?
I don't know. Hopefully he's adopting 45-year-olds because I'm looking. I'm open. I don't want to commit to anything just yet, but holy snot. But I wonder if some of that 100 million isn't like they have to pay the people on his show. Like he's part of his 100 million has to cover Gary and the gal. I can't think of her name.
You think so? Because I would think they would all have separate contracts.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm just trying to justify $100 million. I don't.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way to justify that.
Good for him, though. I mean, talk about taking a $7 an hour job and turning it into something. Woo!
There you go.
Good job, Howard.
Stern. Yeah, right. Go Howard.
Hey, I saw online that Elon Musk is going to move to Texas. You're going to be moving into the electric neighborhood with you.
Oh, there we go. Maybe he'll send some better Wi-Fi my way.
Do you not have income tax there? State income tax?
I'm pretty sure we do.
You do. Why is everybody moving there?
Lower taxes.
Oh, okay.
Lower taxes, more places to live and get away like we did on 98 acres of land. There's just more room here. Everybody in Austin's so mad. They've got bumper stickers that say, "Get the Californians out of here."
Well, once Joe Rogan moved down there, I just told my wife, I'm like, we got to get down there. I got to buy some property. I own a bunch of property here.
Oh, it's so cheap. I think this land was about 20 grand, 98 acres.
Really? Well, you must be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not going to be the middle of nowhere for long if everybody keeps moving to Texas.
How far from Austin are you?
Only about 2.5 hours.
Okay.
My sister lives there, so we're actually probably going to end up there soon.
Yeah.
With masks. We're going to end up there and hang out with my sister for a little bit.
If you do, there's a place. Oh, I was just down there for a voiceover conference, and I'm telling you, I'm a nacho guy, and this place had nachos that changed my life.
Oh, where was it? Because I know everywhere in Austin. Was it a food truck or was it like an actual nacho place? Because I love nachos.
Yeah, it was an actual place, but it was the name of the place was the same name as the street. That's the only way I remember it.
Nacho Street.
No. It was oh man, I'll have to dig into it. But yeah, it was holy snot. It was some of the best work I've ever seen. And
was it in downtown Austin?
Yeah. I took my scooter there from the Four Seasons.
Oh, there's too many good restaurants. I probably have not seen it. There's so many good restaurants in downtown Austin.
Well, and I was thinking about taking the wife back there. It was funny because when I checked in, I went to it was a voiceover thing that I was at, and we stayed at the Four Seasons, and I went down to the concierge, and I'm like, "Hey, I've never been here before. What's the thing? Like what does everybody do?" And he's like, "Have you seen the bats?" I'm like, "The bats?
Yes.
Like real bats?" And yeah, he said it was the bats. I'm like, I don't know.
The Bat Cruise. I've done it. It's awesome.
There's a cruise?
Yeah. Well, I got on the boat and we watched the bats and we went, it was like sunset and we got to see them. They came out all at the same time. Like they knew it was a special time for them and they just all flocked in one direction. They were doing I have pictures and videos. They were just like it was amazing actually. And I don't like bats. I didn't want them near me.
I don't think
they didn't get near us, but they were doing all kinds of circles in the air and like aero bats, acrobatic bats, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, well, they get out. They're nocturnal, so they leave at dusk, and they say that there's like thousands of them that leave from under that bridge. Which
5,000, 6,000 bats.
Oh man, I don't know. That's weird. That's a lot of guava, which is bat shit. That's but there's people like kayaking out there and they're hanging out. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I was one of the people in the water. There was a lot of people kayaking. There was a whole crowd, and I have a picture of this too, about 500 people just lined up across the top of the bridge. Those are the guys that probably got the bat shit.
Oh man. Yeah, there's a memory. I don't know. I got to go back. I was thinking about taking the wife for, just a weekend just to hang out and do whatever. But I got to go back. I got to find that nacho place. I could drive there, but I can't think of the name of it. But
we'll have to do some voiceover work together sometime.
Yeah.
And then,
sure.
The bats, I think that's a once a year thing. And I want that nacho place. Find that out. I need to know.
I'll dig deep. I mean, they put like a full steak on my nachos. It was, and they give you the popcorn when you come in. So it's not a Mexican place. It's like
The place the king of nachos is referring to is the Lavaca Street Bar in Austin. And the bat thing isn't seasonal. It's all the time. Those gross little bastards come out from under the bridge.
Ooh, popcorn.
And they give you like a bucket load of it. I was like, it's just me, dude. But it was cool. Yeah, I'll dig into it. We'll get that out there and give them a shout out. So tell us a little bit. You've got your own podcast that you've been doing for a little while.
Everybody gets confused. So we actually just hit 10,000 downloads. We've only been on since June. We had a big standstill with it while I was working on Indie Pods United, and it's called the Psyche. There's a hyphen. The Psychedelic Podcast. It's kind of a play on words. So we talk about everything from social sciences and psychology and different things like that. We pick apart everything and kind of philosophize on it, but we are so funny that we don't have to worry about getting too serious. We call ourselves your favorite panel of non-experts. So
nice.
I'm really excited about where that's going. We're going to continue pushing out content. We'll have to have you on sometime. You don't have to know anything about anything to get on this show. Just talk with us about a subject, and it's so much fun.
I'm perfect candidate for that. I don't know anything about anything.
None of us do.
Tell me more about the Indie Pod thing. That was a big deal. You put together a whole, you know what it reminded me of? And, forgive me if it's offensive, but it reminded me a lot of like the Jerry Lewis telethon, where it was like days of content that were continually going, and you were the ringleader. You had to make all this magic happen, right?
Yeah, I came up with the idea. I decided I was going to do it. Within 2 months, I threw it together. I had some founders. And I joke with them all the time because I'm not going to lie, I did most of it myself.
Sure. No, if you pat yourself on the back, cool.
I had a couple of them helping me here and there, but I was working on it day and night because I'm talking to hundreds of people to get this together. And we had some fantastic music acts and a lot of great podcasts and comedians like Luke Knoll from SNL and Chris Harvey, who's worked on Stars and Hulu, showed up for it. Doc Brass, he's like a finger drummer superhero for nerds.
You know what? I saw that thing. I saw that. Let's talk about this a little bit. What is the draw to that thing? That dude, that Doc Brass. Everybody loved him.
Oh, he worked with Harry Mack, who was super, super famous for just going on to random chat sites. And he's got his whole studio set up and he just starts freestyle. He asks them for different words and some people are really daft. I said a British term there.
Yeah, I was going to say translation.
They'll be like pie, COVID, pickle. And somehow Harry Mack's brain works so fast that he just freestyle raps and just throws the word in and it just blows your mind. And he did something with Doc Brass a few times, but he's not in it. Doc isn't in it for the money. Harry's making lots and lots of money. Doc wants to help the kids. So anybody that's been through that's going through a bad situation because he's had a bad, tough life himself.
Oh.
Yeah. So he does this for them and he wears this awesome mask and he calls himself a nerdy superhero finger drummer.
Because I was watching it and I'm like, I'm missing something here. I don't get it. I don't get it. But
None of it's rehearsed. He just does that. He comes up with these beats on this
wow.
finger drumming board and he just goes. I don't know how your brain can work that fast, but it's pretty amazing.
He
He
did
never does the same thing twice.
it reminded me of that game, that game that you played when you were little and you'd set the timer and then you got to like flip the pieces over and see what holes they fit in. That's kind of what his little drum box thing looked like to me.
I think there's like 30 different sounds that you can make on that. And then he has a mixing board too. So he's doing all of this stuff at the same time. He's drumming and then his right hand reaches over and he turns some knobs and he makes more music play as he drums with it. And it's just like mind
And he
blowing.
went on for what, like a half hour or more?
Yeah, about a half hour. And then luckily he has agreed to do an interview with me. So has Luke Knoll. And I'm super excited about that. I don't know if he's going to wear his special helmet, but probably will have to because that is who he is. He doesn't show his face. Nobody knows what he looks like.
Oh,
but
really?
He's super, super cool.
Oh, that is kind of cool. I dig it.
Yeah.
You'll have to let me know when that one's on. That's I saw that and I'm like, my gosh, it was different and everybody was just raving about it. And I was kind of half listening and half watching. I had some other stuff I was working on, and I was like, I got to ask about that because I'm not hip to that whole scene. I'm too old and too distance from that. I'm sure my kids probably know who it is, but I don't know anything.
Well, we had another really great music act, and she's an indie musician, and she had 4 cameras. I mean, it had to have been like a $10,000 setup. They were panning in all over the place, a 5-piece band behind her.
Really?
And on the TV scrolling behind her, it was Indie Pods United, and I could not have been more proud. I was like, this is actually happening. I don't know how.
Wow.
I don't know how this came together, but somehow it worked out.
Wow, that's cool. That's good that you got to put your event planning skills to use while we're in the middle of a pandemic. Not a
Yeah.
not a
We're
lot of
coming up with
events
another one.
going on, that's for sure. But the new world we live in, that's just how it works, man. That's exciting. So you're going to do it again next year then?
We're going to do it again already in July.
Oh, wow. That's a quick turnaround.
I mean, if I did that in 2 months with a team that now fully understands what the system is and sees what the vision is, they are all on board 100%. I love them all. And I get why they would be apprehensive that it couldn't be pulled off in 2 months, but I believed in it and it worked. And I was so thankful for the people that stepped in at the last minute. But we are going to do it in July because that's plenty of time considering that happened in 2 months. So
Yeah, right. You'll have time to waste. That's cool.
yeah, exactly. I don't feel worried about it at all.
And it was a form of an award show for podcasters.
We had that as well. We had an award show. We had, like I said, the comedians and musicians. We had a bunch of podcasters live streaming. It was just amazing. I don't know how I did it. Honestly,
awesome.
I feel like such a narcissist for saying that, but it just fell together. It was meant to be.
That is awesome. I hope to be a part of it in July and get on the roster and see what it takes. But it looked like it was a ton of fun and had a great turnout because you did what, 3 days?
5 entire days, and it was supposed to be 4. That was my mistake. I wrote down the dates. I meant for it to end on December 3rd, like, oh, we're done. Nothing happens December 3rd, but I'm very bad with days.
Oh, no.
And it ended up having to be 5 days because I had promoted it all over the place as 29th of November to 3rd of December. And so we did it. We made it happen. And anyone that didn't show up, my co-founders and I, we would just keep talking and just roll through it, and it worked out.
Wow, that is kind of a big mistake. I mean, obviously it worked out, so it's great, but 2 extra days, that's above and beyond right there. So
yeah.
so this is your full-time gig. You don't have like a day job, do you?
Well, I'm still looking for any kind of acting work here in Texas or Oklahoma and voiceover work as well. But
yeah.
There's not too much going on at the moment. So I full-time podcast and I full-time I'm going to be working on Indie Pods full-time as well. So
oh, that's so cool.
I'm cool with that because we have a 2-year-old, so I get to be home. The important people are here with me anyways. I don't really need to go anywhere.
Right.
I can talk to my friends whenever I want on Zoom. It's fine. I don't need to just I don't need to just hug people all the time. I can talk to them on Zoom. We can drink wine on Zoom. That's fine with me.
You've adapted. That's all that matters. That's
I've kind of always been like that. Like I'm seriously extroverted. And when I'm in crowds, I'm cool with that. I love that. I love attention. Who doesn't?
Yeah, right.
But I'm also cool with getting attention in other ways.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's why we do what we do. You know, that's why everybody in the world's doing podcasts right now, because everybody's got something to say and wants to get out there and hear themselves.
Yeah, well, not all of them are wonderful, unfortunately, but we have classes for that.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's what did somebody say? 1.6 million podcasts or something? I don't know, just a ton of them. But everybody being home from work and not being unemployed, why not? They're getting it started. So more power to them. We're all right with that. And then so will the July one have awards then?
Yeah, we're going to be doing awards every single time. So we did the top 25 in no particular order, as my friend Gerald said. And he put that together along with another friend of mine, Nigel Beckles, and he did a great job hosting it. We even had people cheating on apparently there were some fake votes cast.
Oh,
so
my, 'tis
I
the
was
season.
Like, wow, drama in 2 months, like for the award ceremony. Come on, guys.
That's very much our political world we live in right now. It's wow, that's whatever. And so did these people get ejected immediately?
No, we had to remove the fake accounts from our Facebook group, but anyone wants to check it out, just go to indiepawsunited.com. The links are there. And we kept them. We kept the people that won. We just removed the fake votes, and nobody got called out for it because we can't really say like it's this person's fault or that person's fault, because someone else could have did the fake votes for them, like a super fan or something.
Yeah, there you go. Did any of the people that had the fake votes win?
Yes.
Oh no, it's rigged. It's rigged.
It was all rigged. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't believe that this was actually happening. In a first event, people were really casting fake votes for each other. I thought that was insane. So I think they believed in the cause too much, maybe.
Well, they some people have to win. It's a big deal, which I understand. I'll be winning this year. I know that. I've already got my fake account set up. No problem. No problem. I'll be interested to see how that's people are crazy. Wow, it's a crazy time, that's for sure. So, with that being said, how's your holiday forecast? We're in December and Christmas is right around the corner. I'm telling you, it's sneaking up on me. I'm not ready.
Yeah. I mean, we did a great Thanksgiving. We had it outside. It was awesome. It was super fun. Laid out all the food. There was too much food, honestly. And I'm sure there will be plenty of food on Christmas. I haven't even put a tree up yet, honestly.
Come on, let's go. Get in the game.
I'm trying.
You must have one out on that 96 acres. Right? You got one in the yard, probably.
There's no pine trees. Well, actually, yeah, there is. What am I talking about? We do have a tree. We just got to put it up. And I've got the ornaments and the angel and everything. Like, actually, she's sitting right next to me. So we'll be probably doing that tonight or tomorrow. Probably after I get off with you.
There you go. You got to get it started. That's just more reasons to drink wine and celebrate the season. I don't know.
Yes,
not
I'm feeling
having any
pumped
snow.
now. I'm feeling pumped now.
Not having any snow is I don't know. I don't have snow right now, so it doesn't. It kind of. I don't know. I wish they would give us something, because if we're going to be cold, I want snow. So what's your temperature today?
Hot, probably in the low 70s.
Ooh, wow, that's nice. You know what I got a what do I have? I have a 14, 19, and a 20 and a 29. Kids. And I just found out today that my daughter, who goes to San Diego State, and she's home because she can't do anything there. So she came home for the holiday and she's staying through Christmas. And I just found out her boyfriend is in her boyfriend, whom we refer to as the Italian, he lives in Chile with his dad right now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to go visit him. They had like a voucher or something. So she's going for free. And I'm like,
wow.
Oh man, I don't know. This is a big step. Like, I don't know. So she went today and got this voucher and whatever, and you have to get like international health insurance, and there's been all this quarantine hubbub, but evidently they're lifting the quarantine and she can just go. I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. But the Italian's dad is a doctor, so I'm guessing if anything goes wrong, she'll be in good hands.
But Italy had it hard when COVID first hit. Oh, that's scary a little bit. I mean, I'm scared.
No, he's not actually Italian. He's from Chile.
Oh, okay.
We just call him the Italian.
That's funny. Why? Does he wave his hands a lot?
No, he doesn't do anything a lot.
Oh my God.
These are some of your people, the book nerds that spend their whole life reading and learning. And my daughter's very intelligent. So is her boyfriend is too. He's hopefully going to be a lawyer someday or something so that I can lean on him a little bit.
There you go. Just in case Howard Stern hears this episode.
Yeah, right. Well, I hope he does, because that'll be publicity that we need.
Oh, I'd be happy to go to court for Howard.
Hell yeah. I'd say guilty as charged.
And I'll take that.
Why don't you give me 100,000 and I'll go away. 100,000.
We'll settle out of court.
Yeah, for sure. For an undisclosed amount, which
exactly.
Will be more
We're planning it already.
I'm telling you, it's all happening. Well, listen, we got to wrap this episode up. This was the introduction to the Tina Marie episodes. Hopefully we're going to have you back on more and more and start working on some content. I'm going to try and produce up to 3 episodes a week. I've got another couple co-hosts, and we're going to get it rocking and rolling, get some more listeners, more followers, and start banding together. I'm going to check out your podcast. I'm going to come on there and find out how little I actually know about what's going on in the psychedelic world.
The psychedelic world. Yeah, super stoked, super excited. Thank you so much, Darren. It was awesome talking to you. Next time, I promise to be higher energy.
No, that's all right. We've been trying to do this, like I said, for 3 or 4 days, and you're coming off a marathon run. You're coming off the what was that guy's name? The telethon. You're coming off the telethon, so you're worn out. Jerry Lewis. You're coming off the Jerry Lewis telethon. So we will now. It's going to keep going upward and onward, and we're going to get people to tell friends and subscribe and give us a review. So until then, everybody tune in for the next episode of the DK Project. Thanks for listening. Yes. Thanks, Tina.
Thank you, Darren. Have a good night.
You too.
Or morning.
Oh, there you go. That's it. That's the end.
That's a wrap.
Read the shtick.
That's a wrap for today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe and tell all your friends. If you'd like to reach out, you can use the studio line at 612-504-6500 or by email, thedkprojectpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, there's always social media at the DK Project Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.